A delightful day everyone. We are the group 3 and for today's video, we're going to tackle about the topic assigned on us, which is the AFMA or stands for Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of 1997. But before I begin my discussion, does anyone here have an idea what is AFMA? Or did you hear about this term before? Okay. Republic Act number 8435 or the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act was approved on December 22, 1997 and signed into law by former President Fidel V. Ramos. This legislation aims to enhance the modernization of agriculture and fisheries in the Philippines. One of its goals is to attain food security, elevate the living standards of farmers and fishermen, as well as to boost the overall competitiveness of agriculture and fisheries sector. Through this intervention, we can assure that it can succor to elevate the quality of life of our farmers and fishermen. This law has a bunch of chapters and sections. Section 1, short titled, "This shall be known as the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of 1997. This law focuses on transforming Philippine agriculture and fisheries to be more modern, productive, and sustainable sectors as well. Next is the section number 2, which is Declaration of Policy. The national economy aims for fair wealth distribution, increased productivity, and improved quality of life. This law outlines the commitment to promote rural development and modernize agriculture and fisheries. It also aims to improve the productivity, food security, increment income levels, and improve life quality of our beloved farmers and fishermen. It also emphasizes the sustainable utilization of the resources for the future generation. Next is the section number 3, which is the Statement of Objectives. AFMA objectives include enhanced productivity, increased income in rural areas or communities, to achieve food self-sufficiency, and promote equity. It also targets the sustainable development and modernization in agriculture and fisheries. In section number 4, which is the definition of terms, in this section it defines key terms that used in this law, such as modernization, sustainable development, and agribusiness to ensure clear understanding of its scope rather. We have here the development of the agriculture and fisheries sectors accordance with the following principles. In A, we have poverty alleviation and social equity. This state shall ensure that the poorer sector of society have equitable access to everything. Next is the food security. The state assure the availability of adequacy, accessibility, and affordability of food supplies to all times. Next is the rational use of resources. The state shall adopt a rational approach in the allocation of public investment in agriculture and fisheries. Next is the global competitiveness. the state shall enhance the competitiveness of agriculture and fisheries. Next is the sustainable development. This state shall promote sustainable development also that preserves the ecosystem. Next is the people empowerment. This state shall promote people empowerment that enabling citizen to direct participation. Next is protection from unfair competition. This um this principle or this state shall protect our farmers and fishers from unfair competition. Title 1 Production and Marketing Support Services. Chapter 1 Strategic Agriculture and Fisheries Development Zones. In section number 5, we have there the develop declaration of policy, and in the declaration of policy the it is a policy that it is the policy of states that ensure that all sectors in the economy and all regions in the country must have an optimum opportunity to develop through rational and sustainable SE of resources peculiar to each area.
Hello everyone, today I'll be discussing the key sections of an important legislative measure that aims to enhance agricultural and agro-industrial development in the Philippines. Section 6. Network of Areas for Agricultural and Agro-Industrial Development. In Section 6, we look at the creation of a network of areas for agricultural and agro-industrial development. The Department of Agriculture, together with local government units, NGOs, and organized farmers and fisher folks groups, will identify strategic agriculture and fisheries development zones or SAFDIs within 6 months of the law's approval. SAFDIs are designed to promote sustainable agriculture and agro-industrial growth in strategic locations. These zones are chosen based on criteria like climate advantage, infrastructure access, market proximity, and the presence of agrarian reform communities. So each of these will have a comprehensive development plan covering production, processing, investment, marketing, human resources, and environmental protection. This structure approach aims to create a balanced and thriving agricultural economy. Next is Section 7, Model Farms. Section 7 addresses the establishment of model farms within SAFDIs. The department may designate areas in these zones as model farms to showcase large-scale agricultural production. In these model farms, farmer or landowners have the option to partner with experienced corporate entities. Through this partnership, they can gain access to advanced technology, skilled labor, capital, and greater market opportunities. This setup is intended to boost productivity while following existing laws. Next is Section 9, Delineation of Strategic Agriculture and Fisheries Development Zones. Moving to Section 9, it outlines the process for officially establishing SAFDIs areas within 1 year. The department, along with various government agencies, local units, and stakeholders, will set up these zones, prioritizing the protection of all irrigated and high-valued croplands. For 5 years, limited conversion up to 5% is allowed strictly following regulations. After this period, the zones will undergo a review to assess productivity and farmers' welfare, with the option for land conversion on a case-by-case basis. However, any conversion will require landowners to reimburse the government investment costs. Next is Section 10, Penalty for Agricultural Inactivity and Premature Conversion. Section 10 deals with penalties to ensure land productivity. Landowners with irrigated agricultural land of 7 hectares or more must keep it productive. If left idle for over a year without a valid reason, they face an idle land tax of 3,000 pesos per hectare per year. If inactivity persists for 2 years, the land could be escheated or taken back by the government. Additionally, illegal land conversions carry step penalties including prison times, fines, forfeiture, and revocation of conversion authorization.
Good day, sir. I am Damos Ortegan. I am aligned with the Chapter 2, which is the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Plan. And we have here the Section 13, Section 14, Section 15, Section 16, and Section 19. So for the Section 13, the Agricultural and Fisheries Modernization Plan, or the AFMP, the department with input from farmers, fisher folk, private and public sectors, and NGOs will create and implement a comprehensive agriculture and fisheries for the modernization plan. So mag-implement ni sila og mga modernization nga ma-introduce ang mga modern farming. Nga like lang mga techniques, technologies, and equipment para ma-increase nilang productivity and efficiency. So that this plan will address the food security, poverty alleviation, and income enhancement, global competitiveness, and sustainability to earn their interests. So for the Section 14, which is the food security, poverty alleviation, social equity, and income enhancement. So with this, the department, in coordination with other agencies, will develop medium and long-term plan focused on food security, poverty alleviation, social equity, and income enhancement. So, para ma-increase ang ilang income and profitability, mag-support sila sa mga small-scale farmers and fisheries, which is mag-implement sila og mga programs and policies nga maka-benefit directly ang mga small-scale producers. Include dira ang atong maka-access sila sa ilang credit, technology, and market. These plans aims to increase income for small farmers and fisher folk. Ma-ensure nila ang affordable nga staple foods, ma-reduce ang rural poverty and malnutrition, ma-decrease ang ilang unemployment, and ma-improve ilang land tenure for small farmers. So, for the Section 15, which is the Global Competitiveness and Sustainability, the department will create medium and long-term plans to boost the global competitiveness and sustainability of agriculture and fisheries. So, mag-implement ni sila og mga long-term strategies like mga biotechnology and genetic engineering, which is maka-develop and maka-regulate sila sa paggamit sa mga biotech crops para ma-improve ilang yield, pest resistance, and maka-use sila genetic engineering for the development of new crop varieties. So for these plans, maka-aim sila nga ma-increase ilang production quality, ilang value for both domestic and export market, and ma-reduce ilang post-harvest losses, and ma-enhance ilang processed products. Ma-expand po ni ilang international trade, support sustainable businesses, and ma-promote ilang entrepreneurship among farmers and fisher folk. Apil ilang diversity farming, and ma-reduce ilang harm chemical use. Mag-provide ni sila og mga training programs para ma-improve ilang farmers and fishery skills in production, marketing, and business management. So for the Section 16, special concerns in formulating the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Plan, or the AFMP, the department will address various concerns, including strategies for growth and profitability under WTO constraints, programs from the agrarian reform, and the SAFDZ identification, infrastructure and market support, access to production inputs and technology, credit programs for small farmers and fisher folk, integrated research and development, biodiversity preservation, environmental protection, rural non-farm employment, and access to aquatic resources, and support for the marginalized groups such as the impoverished, indigenous peoples, rural youth, women, and the handicapped and senior citizens. for the WTO constraints and their growth like diversification, para ma-encourage nila ang ilang mga farmers to diversify their crops and ilang livestock para ma-reduce ilang reliance on a few commodities. And para po na nga makapromote sila sa ilang value added is mag-process sila ang agriculture and fishery products so that ma-increase ang ilang mga market value and further value addition. And sa ilang agrarian reform nga makaprogram sila katong mga land tenure security, support services for them to have technical assistance, credit, and market access to agrarian reform beneficiaries. So, ilang land consideration is para ma-facilitate ilahang mga land para ma-improve ang ilang economy sa ilang scale. So, for the Section 19, a rule of other agencies, all government units and agencies will support the department in implementing the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernizational Plan, or the AFMP. Key agencies such as the Department of Public Works and Highways will assist with infrastructure para ma-construct and ma-maintain ang mga rural roads, mga tulay, and ilang mga irrigation system. While the Department of Interior and Local Government will help mobilize local resources, ma-facilitate nila and ma-implement nila ang mga local development plans nga aligned sa AFMP and various departments including ang mga trade o industry, agrarian reform, science and technology, and environment and national resources will coordinate investment programs. Other agencies like education, health, and social services will assess the financial needs of farmers and fisher folk affected by modernization. So, for the environmental support and technical assistance will be provided by the Department of Environment and National Resource na ma-implement ang mga programs to conserve biodiversity, ma-mitigate nila ang climate change, and lahang congressional committees will ensure the coordination and enhancement of AFMP initiatives. So, the chapter 2 will end in here.
So good day everyone, I am Japit Kamasura and I will be discussing the chapter 3 which talks about the credit. Section 21, Phase out of the Directed Credit Programs, DCPS, and Provision for the Agro-Industry Modernization Credit and Financing Program, AMCFP. So in this section, the government will stop using old agricultural loan programs within 4 years. Ug ang tanan nga loan funds, including those from the Comprehensive Agricultural Loan Fund or CAF, will be transferred to a new program called the Agro-Industry Modernization Credit and Financing Program, AMCFP. As ang cooperative banks, rural banks, government financial institutions, and NGOs will manage these funds. Any interest nga ilang ma-earn will go back to the AMCFP to support more loans in the future. Section 23, Scope of the Agro-Industry Modernization Credit and Financing Program. So, ang AMCFP provides loans to support various agricultural and fisheries needs. Ga-include ni siya og funding for things like buying equipment, seeds, livestock, and work animals, building storage and irrigation system, and processing farm products. Tapos ga-offer po sila working capital for graduates nga ga-start in farming or fishing. Ga-support sila agribusinesses focused on soil and water conservation. Tapos additionally, ga-help po sila farmers and fishers nga who don't have collateral by offering guaranteed nga loans. Section 24. In this section, it states that the Department of Finance will review the programs of financial institutions para sa Land Bank, PCIC, and others to suggest changes that encourage more private sector involvement in agricultural lending. Ang aim ani is to make it easier for farmers and fishers to access credit, labi na tong for long-term projects. After 6 months dayon, they will give recommendations to Congress and the government for possible policy or law changes, mga kabaguhan. Section 25, Rationalization of Credit Guarantee Schemes and Funds. So in this section, it explains that ang tanan nga existing credit guarantees for agriculture and fisheries will be combined into the Agriculture and Fisheries Credit Guarantee Fund. Ginamanage siya sa Kidancor. This fund will focus on small-scale agricultural activities and small businesses. It can also provide guarantees for loans related to purchase orders and sales contracts. At least 10% of the agro-industry modernization credit and financing programs fund will be allocated to the guarantee fund with cooperatives, local governments, and rural financial institutions having representation on Kidancor's board. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. So I'm Aliyah Absin, and I'll be continuing the AFMA 1 Chapter 4 Irrigation. So under this is the Section 28 Criteria for Selection of Irrigation Development Scheme. So this selection of irrigation development schemes will be based on location-specific criteria, such as technical feasibility, wherein dapat ang ginatukod na project is duol ra siya sa mga farmers, dali ra siya maduulan. And cost effectiveness, affordability, sustainability na dapat ang project is dili lang for a short period of time, but dugay pa siya wala. And ease of operation, recovery of maintenance costs, water use efficiency, gestation period, and the potential to increase productivity per unit area. So the next section is the section 30, National Irrigation Systems, or the NIS. So the National Irrigation System Administration, or the NIA, kay gina-continue nila og plan, design, develop, rehabilitate, and improve the national irrigation system. It should continue to maintain and operate the major irrigation structures, including the headworks in the main canals. In addition to that, ang NIA is required sila to gradually turn in over operations and maintenance of national irrigation systems, secondary canals, and on-farm facilities sa irrigators associations. Next is the Section 31, which is the Communal Irrigation System, or the CIS. So under this, within 5 years, ang government or the department rather, kay gina-transfer nila ang ilang mga plans, designs, and management of communal irrigation systems along with the NIA's related assets sa local government unit where ang LGU sila ang mag-handle sa budget for the development, construction, operation, and maintenance sa communal irrigation system. And National Irrigation Administration kay gina-continue nila provide og technical assistance ang LGU kay kailangan nila na after the devolution is complete. So, next is the Section 32, Minor Irrigation Schemes, wherein ang government or ang department kay mag-formulate sila and mag-develop og plan para ma-promote sa private sector-led development minor irrigation system underanalyze the shallow tube wells, low lift pumps, and other irrigation systems. So ang kanina plan kay gina-include ni siya sa short-term agriculture and fisheries modernization plan. So last is the Section 34, Guarantee of the National Government to make, build, operate, transfer, or the BOT projects for the irrigation attractive to proponents. So ang national government shall issue the needed payment guarantee for both projects which it will answer the default of the National Irrigation Administration. In conclusion of the Chapter 4 sections under irrigation is that all of these sections are a comprehensive approach to improve our irrigation systems by focusing the criteria such as the sustainability of the cost effectiveness of of it, and also by empowering local governments and the private sectors.
And for Chapter 5 of the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act, which is the Information on Marketing Systems, focuses on providing support for marketing and information in the agriculture and fisheries sectors. It includes marketing assistance, national information network, and information and marketing service, and lastly, the government agency roles. To start off in the section 40, which is the marketing assistance, it states here, the department shall establish a national marketing assistance program that will immediately lead to the creation of a national marketing umbrella in order to ensure the generation of the highest possible income for the farmers and fisherfolk, matching supply and demand in both domestic and foreign markets. This is a very good assistance for our farmers kay not everyone has the capacity to market their own produce or products. Instead, ang kakahulog sa atong situation here in the Philippines is that mostly ang middlemen maka-benefit ani nga makuan kay instead nga mismo ang farmers ang mag-market sa ilang own nga produce since ilaha man po ng efforts. Since di man sila kabalo, we have the middleman to fill in this position. And this case may mahulog siya nga both good and bad because in a way nga kinang although ma-market ang produce sa atong mga farmers, but then ang mahitabo is ang middleman ang makakuha og more profit in this case. So the department should help our farmers and fisher folks para nga ma-market nila ang ilahang produce not just domestically but also internationally. And for the section 41, which is the National Information Network will be established within 1 year of the Act's approval, linking the department and local offices as well as research institutions for easy access to agricultural and fisheries data and technology. In this case, this is a very good way to support our farmers and fisher folks on what to do and research on their kuan kay this is a very fast world naman good, and then we have technology to help us in our agriculture. This National Information Network or the NIN will help our fishermen, our farmers to keep up with our environment and the demand of our customers in their field of providing food in the economy. For the section 42, which is the Information and Marketing Service, the National Information Network or the NIN will provide information and marketing services for agriculture and fisheries, including supply and demand data, price trends, product standards, directories of cooperatives, and market players. In this case, matabangan ang ato ang farmers and fisher folks on what to plant. For example, in the case of the farmers, mabalaan na to unsa ang demand din sa tong market karon. Say for example, broccoli. So ato apong itanong broccoli kay in other cases, if dili mo ta mag-research on what is the demand of our market, mahimo nga kanang ma-failure ang ato ang mga produce since wala may mga consumers nga interested sa atong product. And through this section, mahimo nga matabangan ang ato ang fishermen, fish folks and farmers para nga ma-provide sakto ang atong economy and our consumers. And lastly, we have the section 44, the role of government agencies. The Bureau of Agricultural Statistics will act as a central information hub, offering technical support for assessing and analyzing market data. The Department of Transportation and Communications will assist with the infrastructure for the National Information Network, and also the local government units will collaborate for technical support and training of information users in their areas, while the Cooperative Development Authority will have provide training to cooperatives on using and analyzing market information. In this case, let's say for example, the LG will hold a seminar or training for our dear farmers para nga makatuon sila sa hydroponics. This way, makatuon manggod sila og new techniques para pod nga ma-offer na to sa consumers kay gakadugay manggod atong resources kay gakaubos ilang value.
Hello, I'll be continuing to discuss the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of 1997 on Chapter 6, the Other Infrastructure and we'll begin on Section 46, the Agriculture and Fisheries Infrastructure Support Services. The Department of Public Works and Highways, the Department of Transportation and Communications, the Department of Trade and Industry, and LGUs will coordinate with the department to meet infrastructure needs under this act. Additionally, the department and LGUs will strengthen their agricultural engineering teams to provide technical support for the timely implementation of agricultural infrastructure projects. This section outlines the government's mandate to improve and develop the infrastructures nga ga-support sa agriculture and fisheries sectors here in the Philippines. Example of these infrastructures are irrigation system, farm-to-market roads, cold storages, and other related facilities. It ensures nga that infrastructure services ga-contribute sa pag-improve sa atong agricultural productivity, distribution, and efficient processing of agricultural and fishery products. By providing better infrastructure, the government aims to reduce the cost of production, improve supply chain logistics, and facilitate the faster movement of goods. Section 47, or the criteria for prioritization. Government resources for rural infrastructure will be prioritized based on the area's agro-industrial potential, socio-economic contributions, lack of previous public investment, and the presence of agrarian reform beneficiaries and small farmers and fisherfolk. This section determines which agriculture and fisheries infrastructure projects should be prioritized for funding and development. For example, areas or regions nga lack of access sa critical services such as irrigation or road networks should be given priority. Kani nga criteria is ga-focus siya on maximizing benefits such as productivity improvement, rural development, sustainability, and competitiveness while ensuring these resources nagamit efficiently. Section 48, or the public infrastructure facilities. Public infrastructure investments shall give presence to the kind, type, and model of infrastructure facilities that are cost-effective and will be useful for the production, conservation, and distribution of most commodities and should benefit the most number of agriculture and fisheries producers and processors. This section requires the government to prioritize and invest in public infrastructure that will directly support the agricultural and fisheries industries. For example, sa akong na-mention na mga infrastructure sa Section 46, such as irrigation systems nga ga-supply og tubig sa agricultural lands, farm-to-market roads, mga dalan og tulay nga ga-facilitate sa paglihok sa atong agricultural and fishery products, gikan sa production padulong sa market, and cold storages nga para mag-protect sa freshness and quality sa product. This aim nga para ma-enhance ang productivity sa Filipino farmers and fisherfolk by ensuring nga kining mga infrastructure is available para mo-support sa ilang activity. Section 49, or the private infrastructure facilities. For infrastructure facilities primarily benefiting private investors, the state shall facilitate the purchase and use of such facilities and shall keep to the minimum and bureaucratic requirements for this type of investments. Private investors include cooperatives or corporations of agriculture and fisheries producers and processors. The law encourages public-private partnerships or PPP where private companies can collaborate with the government in financing, constructing, and managing agricultural and fisheries infrastructure. Under Section 49, ang private sector maka-invest or makig-partner with the government para ma-develop ng infrastructure facilities. Section 49 encourage and facilitate private investments in infrastructure that benefits the agricultural and fisheries sector, helping improve these industries. While ang private entities mahimo nga mag-build o mag-operate sa facilities, the government is still responsible for ensuring that the infrastructure aligns with national policies and serves the public interest.
Section 51. Fish ports, seaports, and airports. So this section is about improving the infrastructure for transporting agricultural and fishery products. The Department of Transportation and Communications, the Philippine Ports Authority, and the Philippine Fisheries Development Authority are teaming up to prioritize, improve facilities, and to hold operators accountable. They'll focus on upgrading fish ports, seaports, and airports. And also, they make it easier to handle, store, and process agricultural and fishery products. And the Department of Transportation and Communication has the power to cancel the licenses of cargo handling companies that aren't doing a good job. They'll also consult with ship owners and operators to make sure new cargo handling companies are qualified. So therefore, they are working together to make it easier to get agricultural and fishery products to market, while also ensuring the food security and the quality of the product. Section 52, Farm to Market Roads. So this section is about improving transportation for farmers and fishermen. The government will work with local governments and farmers, fishermen to figure out where to build new roads that will help them get their products to market. They'll choose locations based on how many people will benefit and how important the local agriculture and fishery products are. Local governments will be responsible for building these roads and will need to pay at least 10% of the cost, depending on their budget. So basically, they're making it easier for farmers and fishermen to sell their goods by building better roads. Section 56, Research and Technology Infrastructure. Basically, this section of the law is about supporting research and development in agriculture. The government, working with other agencies, will prioritize and help fund projects that focus on research, like building farm labs and demonstration farms. So they will be partnering with state colleges and universities that get their main funding from the Department of Agriculture. So it's all about investing in the future of farming and using technology to improve things.
Good afternoon. I am Shil Chris Bacong to continue Section 57, Post-Harvest Facilities. The department shall coordinate with the Bureau of Post-Harvest for Research and Extension and the Post-Harvest Horticulture Training and Research Center of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, to identify appropriate post-harvest facilities and technology needed to enhance agriculture and fisheries development in the area. In this section, ang department or ang DA is makig-work sila, makig-partnership sila with the Bureau of Post-Harvest Research and Extension sa UPLB, which is provide sila of training and research and post-harvest horticulture. Since these institutions have expertise in post-harvest technology, through their research nga gina-conduct nila sa then kanang ma-identify dayon kung unsa di ay ang kanang mga need nga post-harvest facilities nga needed sa isa ka area to improve para naay development sa ilaha. For example, sa mga drying equipment na needed sa isa ka area, cold storage and processing units. Next is the Section 58, Public Market and Abattoirs. The department will encourage LGUs to transfer the management of public markets and abattoirs to vendors' cooperatives, with funding for post-harvest facilities supporting these cooperatives. In this section, ang LGU is kanang mag-allocate siya og funds or support para sa kanang mga facilities which is itukod. Like for example, sa market, dapat na ay proper drainage, dapat na ay mga cold storage, mga storage for kanang mga products which is dira ibutang, like for example mga meats. Then dapat na ay water supply, available na siya, na ay toilets, na ay kanang garbage, tapos hinlo dapat ang isa ka market which is kaning it helps na kanang ang mga products na to is kanang maka-ensure ta nga safety atong products, kanang hinlo siya, then also ma-preserve pod ang kanang quality sa ato ang products, and also sa kanang mga timbangan dapat kanang check na siya kung kanang naamgoy ubang timbangan nga kanang kuan palapasan nila, tas mao nang abi nimo for example magpalit kag 1 kilo, which is dili dito siya exactly 1 kilo kay gipalapasan na dito siya. Dayon kanang dapat naay transparency sa kanang mga prices, dapat sa timbangan dapat naay transparency. Then also selling on market floors will be prohibited. So ang selling on market floors for example kanang sa market na ay kanang mga booth, mga stalls bitaw diri nga pabaligya, which is dili na siya pwede kay napamunggoy mga legal concerns nga dapat if magkuan ka sa mga products is napamugod na siya agian mga legal concerns. For example, dapat magkuan pa makag permit ana para makakuan ka sa mga products, makasell ka. Next, section 59, agricultural machinery. In this section, it emphasizes the role of machinery and mechanization in boosting agricultural productivity. This section promote sila og kanang and innovate sila og mga machines which helps na specific crops from planting up to harvesting, nga even if kanang gamay ra ang kanang manpower, dili na ka mabala kag pangita og kanang mag-help or mag-work for you or para sa imuhang farm, because naa may kanang mga machines, and it also helps or increase agricultural productivity. And even if wala kay mga tao, mapadayon gihapon nimo ang planting and harvesting because of these machineries. Thank you.
Chapter 7, Product Standardization and Consumer Safety. Section 61 of Chapter 7, Bureau of Agriculture and Fisheries Product Standards. The department, within 6 months after the approval of this act, and in consultation with the Department of Trade and Industry and the Bureau of Food and Drug, shall establish the Bureau of Agriculture and Fisheries Standards, or BAFPS. Ang primary role ani nga act is to formulate and enforce quality standards for agricultural and fisheries products, ensuring consumer safety and promoting competitiveness. So BAFPS conducts research aligns local standards with international ones, oversees inspection of processing facilities to maintain product quality. It also collaborates with various stakeholders to develop guidelines for food safety. As we all know nga, when it comes to processing food, we need a food safety to ensure the consumer safety also. And last is marketing practices. Section 63, Power and Functions. The BAFPS is responsible for formulating and enforcing quality standards for agricultural and fisheries products in areas such as processing, packaging, labeling, and distribution. So when it comes to packaging, good packaging design catches the eye of a customers or consumer. So, maski naman kita, diba, example na to sa itong mama, mupalit ba itong mama anak nga product nga bati og packaging, diba, dili. So pag abot po na to sa labeling means displaying of information naman, diba, about sa product na to. Dili lang sa display of product, but other than the name sa atong brand, and dapat na po sa labeling dapat na po diha ang details about unsa na nga product, o para ma-influence nato ang atong customers or consumers para mapalit na. So it will also conduct research on product standardization aligned with local standards with international ones. Additionally, BAFPS will regularly inspect processing plants, storage facilities, and markets to ensure products freshness and safety quality. So sa processing plants, dapat need ginato ang atong processing plants nga well maintained, dapat limpyo pud siya para ma-ensure nato ang food safety.
Section 63, Power and Functions. The BAFPS is responsible for formulating and enforcing quality standards for agricultural and fisheries products in areas such as processing, packaging, labeling, and distribution. So, when it comes to packaging, good packaging design catches the eye of a customers or consumer. So, maski naman kita, 'di ba? Example na to sa tong mama. Mupalit ba itong mama anak nga product nga bati og kuan packaging, di ba dili? So pag abot po na to sa labeling. Labeling means displaying of information naman, di ba, about sa product na to. Dili lang sa display of product, but other than the name sa atong brand, and dapat na pud sa labeling, dapat na pud diha ang details about unsa na nga product, o para ma-influence nato ang atong customers or consumers para mapalit na. So it will also conduct research on product standardization aligned with local standards with international ones. Additionally, BAFPS will regularly inspect processing plants, storage facilities, and markets to ensure products freshness and safety quality. So sa processing plants, dapat need ginato ang atong processing plants nga well maintained, dapat limpyo pud siya para ma-ensure nato ang food safety. Section 64, Pool of Experts and Advisors. The BAFPS may collaborate with private and government agencies, research institutes, and expert in product standards and consumer safety. The Department of Trade and Industry, the Food and Nutrition Research Institute, and Bureau of Food and Drug Administration will offer technical advice contribute to the pool of experts supporting BAFPS. And kani nga section empowers ang BAFPS mga mag-seek og guidance from the diverse groups of experts, including professionals from government agencies, private sectors, and research institutions. Ang purpose pud ani niya is to mag-enhance ang formulation and implementation sa agricultural and fisheries product standards, para pod ma-ensure nga ma-inform sila by specialized knowledge and best practices in food safety, quality assurance and environmental protections.